Hey, what up, folks? Welcome to the Film Focus page. This is me coming to you from a different angle, but I'm still coming to you, bringing you with reviews. And I'm here to talk about what has been 10 years in the making. Marvel has been building us up to this. And I'm talking about the epic Avengers Infinity Wars. Directed by the Russo Brothers, who were the directors of the acclaimed 2016 smash Captain America Civil War. Now, not giving you too many spoilers, I'm going to tell you a brief synopsis about what this film is all about. In this film, we see the Avengers take on their most deadliest foe today, in the shape of Thanos, played brilliantly by Josh Brolin. And Thanos' mission is to obtain all 6 Infinity Stones, to gain power and to restore balance and order to the universe. And by doing that, what he really intends to do is to destroy planets and kill trillions of people. And it is up to the Avengers and co. to basically stop Thanos' dastardly plot. Now, for me, let me tell you some points about what I loved about this film. The first thing I loved about this film was the villain, Thanos. Easily Marvel's best villain and the best incarnation of a villain that they've brought to the screen thus far. And credit where credit is due to Josh Brolin, who was on menacing form. What I loved about this film was the fact that how they captured the use of motion capture to get facial movements, but his words, his intentions, I thought they were beautiful. I loved the fact how Thanos was just a formidable villain and he could match the Avengers in any way, shape or form. And what I've always believed is the fact that a hero is only as good as the villain. And in this film, Thanos makes the Avengers look good. Even though the Avengers are good, he makes them look better and he makes them want to work harder to stop the dastardly plot. And for me, if you look at past heroes, their villains have only made them look good. So in Die Hard, John McClane was formidable because he had a formidable opponent in the shape of, Hans Gruber, and in the shape of, William Sadler, who played Colonel Stewart in the second Die Hard film. In Superman, Christopher Reeve was good because he had formidable villains in the shape of Lex Luthor in Superman 1 and General Zod in Superman 2. And for me, this film was just epic, just in terms of the villain. And this has to be one of the best screen villains, comic book villains, that I've seen in a long time. Some people say, you know what, is he as good as Heath Ledger's incarnation of the Joker? That's up for debate, and that's a debate that I would enjoy having. Second thing that I loved about this film was, in fact, the cast. All of the Marvel Cinematic characters are in this film. And what I loved about this film is, and a credit to the directors, and a credit to the writers, is the fact that we have seen in previous films the Avengers characters interact with one another. But what was beautiful in this film is that we got to see different elements of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, different characters interact with one another, get sub-stories in the film, and we get to see them interact with one another, we get to see them bounce jokes off one another, and it is done to brilliant effect. One of my favourite scenes was seeing Chris Hemsworth, who played Thor, on brilliant form as always, and the Guardians of the Galaxy interact with one another. And it was just on cracking form in terms of the delivery, the one-liners, the jokes, and the chemistry between the team. And for me, Chris Pratt and Chris Hemsworth made an excellent comedic duo in this film when they were bouncing jokes off one another. And what you need to understand is this: comedy is a very difficult thing to get. It's not just about being funny, it's about your comedic delivery, it's about your delivery of your lines, punchlines, it's about facial expressions, and I'll tell you something now, it works to a brilliant effect in this film. What I also loved in this film was how we got to see Doctor Strange and Iron Man, and what we also got to see the Guardians of the Galaxy interact in this film. And that was done to brilliant effect, and it was sometimes even more funnier than seeing the previous team interact with one another. And credit where credit is due to, Benedict Cumberbatch, Tom Holland, Iron Man, and Dave Bautista for the comedic delivery that they have in this film. Now, this film takes a different direction, in effect that after Thor Ragnarok, which was beyond a shadow of doubt the funniest film of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which is up there with Guardians of the Galaxy, the Marvel Cinematic Universe has gone for a different look. They've scaled back on the humour, not a lot, there's still some comedic moments in this film I might add, but they have given us a more dramatic and a more emotionally driven film. And it works. And I think for me, this film is up there with some of the best Marvel Cinematic films to date. It easily makes up for the mess that was Age of Ultron. Age of Ultron was good, but was not a good film. It was a bit of a disappointment compared to Avengers Assemble. But I loved every minute of this film. and I'm sure that there's going to be a lot of people that's going to enjoy this film as well. Also, what I loved about this film was that the chemistry. All the characters in this film have great chemistry, and it works to a beautiful effect on the screen. You know, when we've seen, I mean, these guys have been together for 10 years now, so the Avengers working together worked well, Guardians of the Galaxy worked well together, but when you see the whole team come together, it is done to a beautiful effect. Another great thing I loved about this film was the action sequences. You know, everything is up there on the screen. Every dollar that was spent in this film is up there on the screen, and the action sequences are superb. The finale in Wakanda, I think, has to be one of the best finales that I've seen. And the Russo Brothers have given us another epic finale where we see good fighting evil. I don't think it's as good as the epic and the finale that we saw in Captain America Civil War, but it's still a good film nonetheless. And it's still a good action sequence nonetheless. And it still keeps you entertained. It's still loaded with the Marvel trademark of great visual effects, great action sequences, great comedic liners, and great comedic timing in this film. And I loved every minute of this film. And in this film, you'll find that there are a lot of characters in this film that get their chance to shine. And I was a bit worried about, you know, you're going to combine all these characters in this film. How will it work? Will it work? And you know what? It does. Every character has their moment to shine. You'll find that the film can be a bit scatty in places, you know, jumping from scene to scene to scene. But you know what? That was a necessity. Because what we needed to do was, we needed to see how each character fits within the narrative of the film. And you know what? It is done to a beautiful effect. Some people may criticise running of this time. This film is 2.5 hours long. And for me, it flows beautifully. And for me, I think it is the perfect length. Had the film been any shorter, I think that it would have omitted certain details and clues that I think would have left plot holes within the film. But I think had it been any longer, I think the film would have just overran and would have been a bit tedious and a bit boring. But it works. And you know what? You don't have to worry about anything within this film because I think that the film works beautifully. And I think Marvel have struck gold again. And this film, for me, not only was it just a beautifully shot film from start, middle and the end, but the ending. The ending in this film is just one that just leaves you with your mouth open, like, oh my word. It leaves you with a beautiful cliffhanger, and it leaves you with a thought of, okay, what's going to happen next? Bring on Avengers 2, which happens in 2019, I might add. But it works to a great effect. And the Russo Brothers, Marvel, all the Marvel Cinematic Universe, they've brought together this epic that was well worth the wait. This film, I can see, will be smashing box office records. I can see this film being on, you know, people's DVD collection for a long time to come. And for me, I loved every moment of this film. This is a film that I've seen twice. And you know what? It was just as enjoyable the second time around. So for me, I'm going to give Avengers a good 9 out of 10. 9.5 out of 10 even. I'll give it a good 9.5 out of 10. Is this one to watch? Please, of course it is. If you're a Marvel fan, this is what you should be watching. This is one in a DVD collection. And for me, you know what? I always said that after the mess that was Justice League, Marvel will show us how to do it again with Avengers Assemble and with Avengers Infinity Wars. And you know what? They have done it. So that's my review of Avengers Infinity Wars. I loved every minute of it. I hope you will too. Please watch the film. Hope you enjoyed the review. Feel free to subscribe to my channel. Follow me on Instagram. Follow me on Facebook. And I shall see you on the next film review. Take care, one and all. Blessed.